Hey guys, this is S-Fan, #1 rep paladin in the world, and you're listening to The Center Ring.
Okay, so let's start.
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to another edition of The Center Ring, aka TCR, aka your favorite esports podcast, episode 188, coming to you live, pre-recorded from an undisclosed location. The date, November 3rd, 2019. The time, 9:08 p.m. Turn back those clocks, boys and girls. We got an extra hour. It's the best time of year. It gets darker sooner. It's getting chilly. Here in Texas anyways, it's finally getting chilly. It's beautiful. Also got the old music back, so you know it's a feel-good kind of episode. Dare I say, the best episode ever, because we are back from BlizzCon 2019. We have a ton of stories to get to, a ton of news, events, man. BlizzCon, it was emotional, it was riveting, it was exciting, it was exhausting. We're going to get to all of that here in just a little bit. But before we do, follow us on Twitter at The Center Ring. Our website, tcr.gg, has our Discord links and all that fun stuff. You can join the conversation there, have a good group of listeners in there that like to chat esports and just gaming in general. Whatever you want to do, that's up to you. There's really no rules in the Discord, right? Kind of post whatever you want. But before we get into the show, let's say hi. Hello, my name is Tim. I will be your captain for this journey into esports, and as always, alongside me, my first mate, my best friend, my brown friend, it's Anuj.
Timothy, how are you?
Long time no see.
Long time no see. I'm
hours,
missing
right?
the LA weather right now. I'm missing
Yeah, you're
it.
crazy. You're crazy. LA was nice, but I'll take cold over LA weather any day of the week. Give me, if my nips can't cut diamonds, it's not cold enough. That's what I
I
always
went
say.
in my car and turned the AC on just to see what that felt like again.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but you LA people, it's okay to use your AC. It really is okay. Like, every time we got an Uber, is it okay, sir, if we turn the AC on, please? Please, for the love of God. It's like 100 degrees in your back seat. Please. That's why all of you have fires. None of you use your AC. Everywhere's just so damn hot. But it was fun. No, I loved California. We'll get to it in a moment. But first, we got to get to our yikes of the week. It is Monday. We had a full weeks of yikes. Let us know what your yikes of the week is on Twitter at The Center Ring. We will gladly retweet it and tell the world. I'll let you start, though, Anuj.
This has got to be a learning lesson for all orgs out there, because this is not the first time it's happened, but it's the most recent time. And my yikes for this week is Renegades sold off their CSGO team to 100 Thieves. Big news. I mean, 100 Thieves have been looking to get back into Counter-Strike. Obviously, we've been, kind of waiting and just chomping at the bit, waiting to
We
see
knew
what
they
they're
were.
gonna
It's
do.
just with what?
Yeah. Matter of what? Well, Renegades recently, were called out on Twitter, as a lot of these CS:GO insiders will put their info out there, mentioning that, hey, Renegades is up for sale. 100 Thieves is a potential option, along with other landing spots. And the org comes out and blasts the insider, saying, nope, not happening. This is like a long-term plan for us. We're excited for the future, yada yada yada. Well, now they've deleted those tweets, Tim. And
Shocked.
here we
I'm
are.
shocked.
So 100 Thieves coming out with the top 10 roster. I know we kind of joked about it a little bit before, for 100 Thieves, but having that having that spot locked in for the next major, you do have a top 10 roster on your hands right now. I don't know how it would have been much better. Getting the coach also, I think, is like a big win. So I mean, literally, you're getting the whole squad.
Right.
But yeah,
And Renegades, now 100 Thieves, that group of guys, it's been playing well.
yeah.
It's been playing well. Who knows? Maybe 100 Thieves buying the Renegades roster. That might be a yikes of the week in itself here in a couple of tournaments, as you bought a team that was always relevant, but I never expected them them getting bought out, right? Like their contracts were expired and re-signing with 100 Thieves.
I mean, I guess
that
if you're
was
looking for a whole roster, probably hard to come across a better squad in terms of taking the whole team at once, right? Not having to put patchwork
So what do the Renegades
players
really have
together
going on for them now?
in terms of like
Renegades
other esports.
esports. Yeah, like Counter-Strike was kind of their thing. They controlled the entire Australian market outside of Greyhound.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
According to Wikipedia, Paladins, Super Smash Brothers, and Rocket League. All right. So who knows? Maybe
We'll get back to them in the
they
future.
didn't buy them the contracts back out. Maybe they have something going on that we don't know. But they're even off the. I mean, their website has already been updated. Like CS:GO is completely off the website. CS:GO is dead to Renegades. So Godspeed to that org. Detroit Renegades, mind you. My yikes of the week here isn't to one particular game. It's not to one particular team. It's to all you mofos, all you so-called experts out there that said, put money on Invictus, put money on, SKT, T1, whatever team they're called, right? Put money on them. They'll make Worlds Finals. No, easy peasy. Like Faker, like it's his destiny. He's going to retire. He needs to win. It's all staged. Put money down on him. And then they both get eliminated in the same effing weekend. Like, I put money down on Invictus making the finals and for SKT to win it all. Because I was like, this is easy money. Like, Invictus will make the finals, and if not, I'll still hedge my bet with a for sure SKT making it to the finals and winning. Like, how will I lose? Well, all you experts are morons, and I'm not going to believe a word any of you say anymore for League of Legends. The only thing I know for sure is
I'm going to start
Faker.
going off team names. That's it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like that's
Fun plus
how
Phoenix. I knew that from the start. If you had asked me day one, I would have said Fun plus Phoenix is going to the finals. But
just
no,
based off the name. The only thing this is confirmed that Faker is a faker, and he sucks at League of Legends, and he's dead to me. He needs to retire because he's washed up, Anuj. You're hearing it here first on TCR. Faker is done.
done. Over. Career done.
No one loses me money and lives to see it.
Was it a double-digit loss?
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, I don't bet like a whole lot of money. But,
But still dead to you.
I lost a video game out of this. I lost a new AAA game out of this.
That's precious.
Yeah.
Especially with the announcements we had this weekend.
Exactly. Like, I was really looking forward to using that money and turning and burning, maybe buying a new headset, maybe getting some of these games, maybe getting some of these pre-orders, But no, now I can't do anything because Faker sucks and Invictus is a joke. So thanks a lot. But we did go to BlizzCon, so that's one bright side. We did get a lot of free stuff, so that kind of makes up for it. So let's go through our BlizzCon trip, Anuj, in chronological order, shall we? With day one being Thursday, and then we'll just take the listeners through our trip rather than bounce it back and forth, blah, 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 blah. Wait, let's just take them day one. So we get there. the big story before we get there was, oh God, LAX set up this new Uber system. What the hell is going to happen? This like LAX is already a nightmare for anyone who's like been through it, though not for us because, you know, when you're TCR, you get special treatment. The Uber, not that bad, I thought. Like, we kind of got in at a good time, I think, because we saw news stories saying it was a mess and everything like that. The only thing that sucked was, like, after sitting on a plane for 3 hours, you now sit on a bus for, like, 20 minutes.
We were at the farthest possible terminal to like take a shuttle to the Uber
Yeah.
area. And so that was probably the worst part about it. But you're right. I mean, it actually wasn't that bad for us. So I think a lot of that just happens to do with timing. But super lucky with that experience because it, I can see how that could get messy quick. I mean, if that line starts to back up and you're having to wait, there was still like 50 plus people in line when we were there. It just moved relatively quick,
Right.
but again, I think timing was everything for us there.
And then, of course, we being the dum-dums from Dallas, we just assume the entire state of California is on fire. So, like, we're trying to, like, look for this fire. We're trying to find the fire. It's like when my relatives up in Michigan call me because Houston floods. And they're like, hey, I heard Houston got some hurricane weather, and are you guys okay over there? It's like,
In
yeah.
Dallas.
We're like 8 hours away. Thank you. Like, thank you for your concern. We're okay. So I didn't see any fire. I think we definitely saw smoke. Definitely saw some smog, but we definitely smelled the fire. Like, our Uber driver, we had to roll down the window on the highway because, again, no one in California uses AC in their car. No one. And we definitely did smell the fire.
You could taste it. Like it was
Yeah.
in your mouth when you rolled the windows down. So, and he was kind of showing us, he was like, oh, it's just the rich people that are
It's
affected.
just the rich people.
It's not affecting anybody. It's just the rich people. So that's how he put it to us.
Didn't seem too concerned with it.
Yeah.
Like,
he's like, no,
it's so funny from the
we'll be
outside.
fine.
Like, that's all you hear over the news. It's like, these fires are destroying LA. And then, like, the Uber driver is like, it's just the rich people. Like, they'll be
It's just
fine.
LeBron. He'll be all right.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. The rich are okay here. So overall, Thursday we get in, had nothing really going on, right? Like BlizzCon didn't start till the next day. We just get in a day early to not stress about it. And so Alt, we've had them on the show, friend of the shows. I have known Nate from Alt for a good amount of time now. Met him back in Columbus, MLG Columbus Major. Back in like 2015 now. It's 4 or 5 years ago. And I've always said, if I make it out to LA in that area, I'm going to go check out his office, check out the Alt's offices. So we made a point to go out there. They hooked us up with some free swag. You can see this hat if you're watching on Twitch, which we stream every episode. I'm wearing their hat right now. Hashtag no free ads, but you can go to their website right now. Ultimate, I think if you just Google Ultimate Esports, you'll find the website. They do have some pretty sweet USA World Cup gear. That hoodie's badass. But so we went and checked out their office. That was just simply amazing.
Incredible. That was really one of the. I mean, it's weird to say that could be one of the highlights of the trip, but it really was just an experience to see. First of all, they're like a 20,000 plus square foot facility.
It's a warehouse, is what it is.
It's a warehouse, and it's like a podcaster's dream. I think it's a design.
They had
firm,
Team USA practicing there. Like, that was kind of their boot camp setup that they had going on for them.
And just like a creative space. I mean, you walked in there and you could feel like energy, right? Just like within all the employees. They have a lot of employees working there now, and it was just that was a really great experience. Just seeing how they operate. I mean, watching how they've grown. I guess since Tim's met them, it's just night and day. Obviously, at this
Well, I remember
point,
because like when I first met Nate, he was telling me like, yeah, we just got this, warehouse. We kind of just bought this warehouse over in Huntington Beach. We don't know what we're gonna do with it. Like, we just wanted it. We know we need the space, so we got it. So it's like they were just at that time trying to figure out what to do with it. So it's just crazy to see. Like, it's weird. Like there is like a sense of pride. Like I am proud of for what they've done, just from knowing, talking to him about it in Columbus to seeing it now. It's like they're licensed for Overwatch League and they do their own clothes. They partnered with teams now. It's just nuts, man. It is one of those like true esports good feel good stories. Like they're not no offense to these companies out there. Obviously they've made their bread and butter, but they're not like Puma or Nike or any of these bigger brands that can just swoop into esports, get a clothing deal because of their name or the money. It's like they are kind of like, that esports startup clothing design company, and they're making it happen. It's pretty dope.
They get deals like that because of the people that they are, right? I mean, just the people in the organization, good people, and it was awesome getting to meet them. That was definitely, like I said, one of the highlights of the trip.
Yep. So that was awesome going to the alt offices. After that, we didn't really have a whole lot going on for the day, and where we were staying, we're just like 3 or 4 blocks away from Disneyland, and this was always in the back of our minds, like thinking, what if we just go to Disneyland for the day? But we were like, no, it's going to be a lot of money. Our wives aren't there. Like, it's just, let's not do it.
We knew we wouldn't have a ton of time either. We were like, well, we're not going to have a full day to do Disney.
Yep. And this was on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, are the crowds going to be busy? We didn't know. But if you're on the fence about going to Disneyland, being 4 blocks away from it is literally the worst place in the world to be, because everywhere in our hotel, in the elevator, in the lobby, on the street, everywhere you go are signs about Disneyland. So you're like, you know what? Let's go. Let's effing go. And like we found out they had discounted tickets for Twilight, like after 4 p.m. So it worked out perfect for us. We did that, but we'll get to that in a moment, because before we did that, we got a bite to eat, and we saw for the first time our little niblet of BlizzCon, as we saw people walking in to wherever we went to go get lunch at. Jack in the Box, I think. First time I ate Jack in the Box, by the way. And we see these collector's box, like for the figurines, like the statues that they gave us. And they gave press all this, all the same orc statue. Now, I left room, and Anuj did too. We left room in our suitcases because we were like, all right, we're going to get this statue, leave some room so we could take it home. No, this bitch was like a 9x9 box.
Massive.
No one was fitting that in a suitcase. Even if you brought your largest suitcase you had, it was not fitting this stupid box that Blizzard gave to thousands of people. It's just like, Blizz,
and they
I
put
love
so
you.
much
I
effort
really
into the box.
it.
Like, this box looks so good, right, Tim? Like we saw the box and you're like, oh man, it wasn't one of those boxes where you felt happy just chunking it out and keeping the item. Yeah, like the box was this nice commemorative box for 25 years and 15 years of World of Warcraft, and just very celebratory looking box with some great artwork on it. So in the back of our mind, we're always thinking like, I mean, are we gonna ship this back, or I mean, how the hell are how are we getting this back?
And long story short, so what we did is we took it out of the box. It's in styrofoam, like in 2 pieces. So we were able to take off 1 piece and put the other half in our suitcase to kind of give it a little bit more support, and then just slam every piece of clothing we had around it, and we got it to work. Mine survived the trip. Did yours?
It did.
All right. So when we get an official studio, you can see those beauties. They're going to be sitting on the back of the shelf somewhere in our studio, so the world can see. Anuj is showing off his little orc grunt right now. Where's mine? I've already lost mine. That's not really much of a surprise.
Looks pretty awesome, though.
They look bad. No, dude, they are badass. They had other ones for other Blizzard games on sale. I wanted to buy them all, but I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And in the Hilton, the hotel, we saw this giant ass line, and I was like, well, what the hell is this for? I got to go see. Well, there's a line. Clearly, I can cut to the front, so I got to check it out. And it was a line like wrapped around the corner at the Hilton Hotel for their FedEx store because all these people were shipping their shit out. Like, FedEx made a killing.
Yep.
But we didn't. So suck it, FedEx. You didn't get our money. We did lose a cool box, but that's okay. And then, this is just a funny story. California, weed is legal. In Texas, it is not. So Anuj was like, look, bro, I'm going to go to a weed shop. And I was like, okay, I'll go with you. I don't indulge. Anuj does. So we call this Uber.
Throwing it out there, just like Anuj was willing to partake in a legal situation.
Look,
That's the way we need to frame this for our sponsors, okay?
I don't partake in the devil's lettuce. Okay? But Anuj does. Go ahead.
We start looking for the nearest shop. You know, surely if it's legal, I expect it to be at every corner, like 7-Eleven and Subway and Starbucks. I thought it was going to be everywhere. Not the case.
Like you see online, right? Like
yeah.
You always see it online. Like, oh man, these are just next to Starbucks.
It's frowned upon, I guess, to have weed shops next to a children's activity center such as Disneyland. So the concierge at the hotel gives us a recommendation. He goes, "Hey, why don't you use the app Weed Maps?"
Oh, but before this, he's like, I don't know where any shops are. I don't know anything about that, man. Yeah, sorry. Why don't you try this app called Weeds Map, though? Yeah, go just WEED. It's like, okay, bro. Okay.
You know nothing, though. You know nothing.
You don't know anything, though. But you're just
use this app. It'll
Look,
get
bro,
you everything you need.
I don't smoke weed. I don't do anything. But just go down the street, take a left. You'll see a McDonald's. You take a right. Keep going straight. You're gonna see a woman on the street. Her name is Stacy. You ask Stacy, she'll send you to Mark, and he'll hook you up. But I don't know. I don't know.
I have no
about
clue.
It. I know
just
nothing.
throwing it out there, just to guess. So this guy gives us the recommendation to use this app. We use the app. We find one. Great reviews. Okay, I mean 1,000+ reviews. It was gold colored, marked on the map. This is the one, Tim. This is the one we got to go to. It's like 3 miles away. $7 Uber ride. Like, let's do it. And sure enough, the Uber that we call is just same guy that just dropped us off to the hotel like
5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago. He turns back around. He's like, "Hey, it's y'all again."
Sweet guy.
So we tell him, "Hey,
Learning
we're
English,
going to this shop
while driving. Like he's got his other, Uber drivers have like 5 phones for whatever reason. One of his phones had a YouTube thing going on. It was like Arabic, and it was teaching him English while driving. I mean, I guess
he was kind of practicing with us, Dude was sweet. Couldn't drive worth a lick, but he was nice. Like, yeah, we thought we were gonna die.
I thought
a
I
few
was going
times
to
on this
die.
ride. So I give him the address, and we pull up to, how would you describe it? Like, it was like a transmission automotive store, but it was like we were pulling in to the back of it. So like we're like behind this warehouse looking building. We get out of the car and it says you've arrived at your
And it's
destination. So we
right
tell
off
the
the
driver,
highway. Right off.
right
of
off the
it.
side of the highway. We tell the driver, "Hey, give us like 5-10 minutes. I need to go grab
Before
something."
you even did that, though, you told him. You're like, no, I think this is the back. And he's like, no, this is where it's telling me to go. We're like, no, this is the back of the store. And he's like, no, it's not. And so we get out of the car, try to turn the corner and walk around. And we're like, no, this is it. There is no front. And so Anuj, from there.
Yeah, so I give them a call. I'm like, "Hey, I'm looking for your store. It says we're right here. I see this automotive shop." She goes, "Yeah. Did you see the double-doored black gates?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I did actually see those. I know what you're talking about. We'll walk back towards them." She goes, "Yep, we're right there." So hang up the phone. Tim and I start walking over there. Get to the black gates. Nothing. Okay, it's just like a closed door on one side, a blank canvas wall. I mean, nothing around there. Call her back
Nothing
again.
about this situation says legal weed.
Legal anything. Like, just doesn't look like a place we
Nothing.
should be standing. Give the lady a buzz again. She goes, yeah. She goes, do you see the 1502, 15201 sign? I was like, "Yep, I see the sign." She goes, "Look to the left." We glance over to the left. There's the shadiest looking door off to the side, open, unmarked, No signs, no lighting, just a black hole.
And so we walk in. There's a security guard. He goes, "Hey, you found us." We're like, "Hey, please don't rob us." Like, we're going. And like, as we walk in, Anuj quickly turns around to me and goes, "I'm so sorry if we get murdered." So
This
we
is
show him our IDs.
not going to be good.
We go through the door, and it's essentially like a store with just two counters in it, with all the product on the counter and in the glass cases and things, with one chick working it. We made it out. Anuj tried paying with a credit card. She goes, "No, we don't do credit card here. We don't want to file taxes." We're like, that's not how that works. And I'm pretty sure that's illegal. But you do you.
We got what we needed.
Thank you very much.
Too
Have a
much
good
of
day.
what we needed. Didn't
So
know
that's-
order quantities, so that became an issue, and a lot of it went back to the good state of California.
Well, yeah, I can't take that on a plane, but boy, I'll tweet out a picture. Just go to our Twitter at the Center Ring, and I'll tweet out a picture later, when I post the episode. A picture of the door leading into this weed shop, because no joke, like, it is where you would expect murder to happen. Like, there is not, like, it is so insane how that. And here's the other thing: they have thousands of reviews. They said they opened last week.
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday. You've been open for a week. How do you have thousands? Like, we've done almost 200 episodes and we have 28 reviews on iTunes. We've been around for 4 years almost, have 28 reviews on iTunes. These people have been around for a week and have thousands.
Thousands of 5 stars, man.
We need to have stoners as our listeners. They definitely go rate us.
Right away.
They just go right away. So after that, went back to the hotel, kind of regrouped, freshen up. Then we went to Disneyland. What can we say about Disneyland that hasn't been said before? It's the most magical place on earth. Anuj hasn't been in like 20 plus years. I haven't been in like 2, right? Like Disney World. My family's in Florida, so we go to Disney World quite often, but doesn't change that. It is the first time, however, I went on Halloween, and it's the first time I saw Star Wars land area thing.
I thought so. Yeah, main reason I guess was Star Wars. We were both super excited to see Star Wars. I mean, it was the new attraction, so went in there with high hopes, especially coming off like for some of our other listeners, you'll know I came back from a Harry Potter trip not that long ago, just a couple months back now. So I went in with really high expectations after that trip. Not gonna lie, Tim, it was cool. It wasn't great though. Like it was good.
Yeah.
There was parts that I liked. I thought the scale in some areas looked awesome, and seeing the X-wings and stuff like that was pretty fantastic. But I wasn't impressed with like what we were able to do in that area.
When you first walk in and you see the Millennium Falcon and you just see everything for that first time, it was really badass. But then once you went through it, you're kind of like, oh, that's it? Okay. Because I agree. Like, I've been to Universal for Harry Potter World, and like that is just breathtaking. Like, if you're a Harry Potter fan, you feel like you are in Harry Potter. This just kind of felt, like you were abusing my Star Wars fandom thinking I was going to buy a $200 lightsaber.
I felt like I was in a film set more than anything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like I was
building
in the world.
a ride, and I'm like in Disney World, I know they're building like a hotel, and it's supposed to be like years to book it and stuff like that, but they definitely need to do a little more. A little bit more. Like, because the rest
probably
of
a shopping district.
Yeah, like the rest of Disney just feels so magical, Like, I don't want to be like all whimsy here, but like Disney is so cool, like even as an adult. And then Star Wars Land was cool, but it wasn't like, I don't know. Yeah. I was wanting to spend money, and we didn't. Like, it didn't really make me spend money. I was really, I was ready to regret some decisions by making bad purchases. But no, nevertheless, it was still cool. That doesn't dismay, though, Disneyland. Disneyland was badass. It was kind of cool going on Halloween. You saw a lot of people in costumes. You saw a lot of like budget characters. It was really fun. It was almost like if Disneyland was cutting all their budget on characters and they just had to go to like Halloween City to get their Mickey Mouse costumes.
Pretty much what we saw throughout the whole park.
So that's kind of funny.
There were some really creative ones, but yeah, a lot of budget.
Yeah,
a lot of budget
a lot
costumes.
of budget ones. Had beignets for the first time.
They're great, aren't they?
Delicious.
I knew you'd love them.
Amazing.
They basically had a replica of Cafe Du Monde, which is a famous cafe in New Orleans, and they sell beignets, and they had made a full replica of the French Quarter in Bourbon Street over there, and at the end of it they had Cafe Du Monde, and you could go get some beignets. So that was awesome. And that was coming in like that's right when the park started to get really crowded too. Like we had just finished up a Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and the park adjacent to it, which was what
California Adventures or something like that.
I think is what it was titled. That closed down for a private party essentially. So all these people filtered into Disneyland, and it got super busy at this time.
Yeah, but still, it was pretty awesome. We got to see some fireworks. We got to get go through the shops. Tomorrowland. I whooped Anuja's ass in Buzz Lightyear.
I'm pretty sure my laser wasn't working.
Him.
Look, only one of us had edibles. Okay, so there's already a 20,000 point curve here in terms of what was going on at this time. But my laser.
The only edible I need is that beignet. It's the only edible I need.
That was
no. So yeah, that was just showed you who the real FPS player is here.
I wanted to see the trend here. So even at Disney, we got so lucky with lines throughout the whole event at Disney. We were in lines
this is a theme throughout the whole weekend, people. We get into a line, we either skip to the front and skip all of it because either A, we're media, B, we just asked. Like, some people didn't even ask if we were media. They were just like, yeah, come on in. Or C, we didn't ask and we just kind of went.
Just kind of did.
Yeah. But at Disneyland, yeah, we got lucky. Like every line we went in, it was either short already, just the timing worked out, or for whatever reason, like we'd go and like 10 people ahead of us would just be like, oh, never mind, we don't want to ride in anymore, and walk away. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it worked.
All weekend.
It worked. I don't know if they thought Anuj was like a terrorist or something, but
done.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay with that. If it gets us to the line faster, by all means, be racist. I don't care. So that pretty much capped off. That's just day number 1, people. Day number 1. Now, keep in mind, we woke up at like 4 a.m. to get to the flight. We've been go all day long. We get back to the hotel. We take out our computers. Like, bro, let's game. We lasted about 20 minutes before we were like, we're going to go to bed now.
It's time to sleep.
We're old. We can't do this anymore. So we went to bed there. Day 2 arrives. It is Friday. It is the opening day of BlizzCon. The hype is real. It's almost feels like we're going to Disneyland all over again. We wake up early because we've already seen lines where people were saying, like, people were lining up at 3 a.m. to get into BlizzCon. First off, you don't need to do that. Second off, we've heard it was busy because you could have. So we could have gotten our press passes early, and like on Thursday, but obviously between going to Alt's office, the weed shop, and Disneyland, we just didn't do it. So we were like, all right, we'll go ahead or we'll go on Friday just early to pick them up. So we were worried that it was going to be busy. Getting to the Uber. Cool dude. He was a Cowboys fan. We saw gas prices for the first time in California.
Shocker.
Like here in Dallas, it's like $2.03. Like it's cheap. I don't see how California does anything. There are way too many cars in California for that type of gas price. Like that's insane.
What do we see it at? Like 420?
It was like 420. I think 460 if you wanted premium or whatnot. So that's nuts. First off, And then the real funny thing, though, with this Uber driver, he's like, oh, you guys going to that convention? And we're like, yeah, we're going to BlizzCon. It's for video games. And he's like, yeah, I've been driving people back and forth. He's like, some of these women, though. We're like, uh-huh. He's like, oh, you just wouldn't think that they would go to it. We're like, go on. He was like, well, you just wouldn't think that these women
didn't think they were going to the event.
would play video games. Yeah. No, I got
He's
you.
like, that's when he realized it was big. Like, you could see the light bulb went off at that
like
point
at
for
first,
him.
if it was just us, he'd be like, whatever, bunch of nerds. You get some attractive females going. Oh, I'm interested.
It's like, oh, so this is my son plays games. I should go.
Like, that was his one takeaway on what BlizzCon was. It was a video game thing, and women went to it. Like, that's what BlizzCon was to this Uber driver. So we get there, we get our passes, we go through like the hotel check-in, security check, whatever, because again, no lines when you go through the hotel and like where the press can enter in, so that's nice. Let me back it up, because before we did that, we had to first walk to the hotel, which was like a little down the street, like where they had Uber drop you off. You went past like the Overwatch League truck and everything here, but this is where we saw, for the first time there, the protesters.
Yep.
Which, of course, is a lot of people's questions. Like, people were asking us in Discord and just in general all weekend, like, how are the protesters? What's it like? Is it crazy? You know, how many people are there? Are there riots? Are there angry people? And I just got to say, take all these news headlines that you're reading about massive protests and BlizzCon is tarnished and blah, blah, blah. And I would really take it with a grain of salt, because we get there. The only thing the protesters were doing were holding their signs, as protesters do, and offering free t-shirts with May and Hong Kong on it. But that's really all they were saying, was free t-shirts. Like,
they were saying free t-shirt more than they were saying free Hong Kong. Like, it was really about, it almost felt like a big giveaway taking place there initially,
yeah,
like when we walked up.
Right. And they were out front. They were peaceful, though. They were just minding their own business. I didn't think it was abrasive at all. Like, if you didn't want to talk to them, you just walked on by. If you wanted
they weren't
to talk
jumping
to them,
in
they
your
were friendly.
face or anything either. Yeah, they weren't like jumping out at you and telling you to sign a petition. Like, they were very much,
Or they weren't like, it wasn't like I would compare to PETA if you were going to a dog show. Like, PETA would be in your face, throwing buckets of blood, like making you feel like an awful person. None of this made you feel bad for going to BlizzCon. Right? Like, I didn't get that vibe at all. Did you?
No. I mean,
we interviewed a few of them. We have a lot of footage to go through. I'm going to work on it this week. Hopefully have it up by the weekend. But we did interview a few protesters. So we'll have that up in like our BlizzCon video montage. But yeah, so there's that. And just to stay on the topic of protesters, the ones outside, I would say, are the ones, to me, that I got the vibe were actually trying to send a message. The protesters inside, like, you saw a few people wearing like Winnie Pooh onesies inside.
it felt more like meme-ish inside.
Yeah, I felt like they were more trying to just meme and get a kick, like joke around with people. I really didn't think that the people inside of BlizzCon were truly protesting. You know,
Day 2, we saw more shirts than we saw day 1, but that's because they had given out 4,000 of them.
Yeah.
So some people had worn those free protester shirts the second day, but again, it never felt like a distraction in the show. Obviously, there's an incident that comes up here that we'll get into, but it never really felt like a big distraction during the show.
No, I thought it was excuse me, handled properly by both ends, like Blizzard and the protesters. I felt just kind of did their own thing. Where were we then? So we saw the protesters. We went, got our badges, went through security. And then that's when you turn the corner and you see the front of the Anaheim Convention Center, the Blizzard sign, the posters of the characters, and boy, I got chills. Like, I don't know about you, Anuj, but it really, truly felt like when you... I'm a sucker for Disney, okay, if you haven't noticed this yet. Like, when you go into Disney World or Disneyland and you turn the corner and then you just see Main Street, you see the castle, like, you just... Like, you even said, like, when we went to Disney, you're like, wow, I can tell that you are, like a kid.
Fanatic.
Right, like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. I felt that
No, for sure.
same way with BlizzCon.
You walk up and it's just, I mean, you definitely get the feels. You realize that we're there. I mean, we were already really excited to be there, and
This was our
there'd been
first
a lot of
time.
distractions lately, but this is like the first time you walk in and you kind of forget everything for a moment, right? Like, it's just like, wow, we're here, we're doing this. It's definitely a bucket list when it comes to esports events you want to attend, or just like gaming events in general. And so I I really felt pretty lucky that, if we only go to one, if this is it, this was like, I felt like really the perfect one to go to. And Blizzard did a great job of presenting that right as you walk in. I mean, you just felt it. You saw the huge BlizzCon banner. Again, Tim says you see all the characters, like those are 30-foot posters that they have, like, at the front entrance. And so really a fantastic, sight to see right as you're walking in.
And then, so that's outside right when you walk in, or at least where we walked in at. A statue of Sylvanas was sitting right there. And they had statues kind of sprinkled throughout the venue. They had, so you can look on our Twitter at the Center Ring. I posted some pictures. Sylvanas, Jaina, the new chick from Diablo 4. I don't know her name.
Tracer, there was like a lot. Yeah.
Tracer. There was a handful of them. Badass looking Blizzard statues. So there's that. Let's see, where are we on our timeline? Oh, so this is kind of now where we're trying to think. All right, we're here. I think at this time it was about 9:30, 9 o'clock. Opening ceremony really doesn't start until 11. So we're thinking, okay, well, we have an hour and a half, really an hour before we have to think about going to the opening ceremony. Let's walk around. And then we were like, well, let's just check it out first. Let's go into the Hall D, which is the main hall where opening ceremony is at. Let's just go check it out. So we walk out front, try to get in, and they say, no way. This bitch is over capacity. No one can get in, not even media. Everyone is locked out of this. And this was like an hour and a half before this has already been full to an over capacity.
And the line is, at this point, a couple hundred deep on both sides. There's two main entrances you could get into that particular part of the venue at. Both lines were a couple hundred deep on both ends, with, at least 50 plus media standing out there waiting to get in. So getting a little worried at this point, like, oh gosh, we did not plan this out properly. Just didn't know any better. So starting to panic right here.
Yeah, so we asked the guy, like, okay, can't get in. All right, fine. But if you watched our live streams walking around the venue over the weekend, if you can take one thing away from that, is we don't take no for an answer. So we were like, all right, let's just go to the other door. There's two doors, so let's get no's from both of them before we just say, okay, oh well. So we went to the other door, asked them. We're like, hey man, we're media. Okay, yeah, no, you can get in. So we're like, oh, okay, that was a lot easier, thanks. So we get in, and I really don't think we were supposed to, and I don't blame Blizzard for this at all, because it really was over capacity.
Oh yeah, there's no seats.
Not an empty seat. And how many seats do you think were in there? A couple thousand?
Thousands. Yeah, I mean, this went so far back. It was a massive arena for the epic stage, or whatever they called it.
Mythic stage, I think.
Mythic stage, yeah.
It was huge, massive, not an empty seat. People standing up, people sitting on the floor, an hour and a half before it even starts. It was ridiculous. So we kind of go up to the front. We sit on the floor for a little bit, get told, no, you can't do that. Said, yes, we can. They said, okay, blah, 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 going back and forth. So finally, because originally they said we couldn't stand on the side, which didn't make sense. But long story short, we ended up on the side, standing up. Got to see everything. Got to see, well, first was the apology. President of Blizzard walked out and just, kind of apologized for obviously everything that's been going on, saying that we kind of let you guys down for how we handled it.
I didn't think it was a bad apology. I don't think it solves all their problems, but
No,
I like that they addressed it
it's
immediately.
what I think it's like. What do people want, right? Like, one of the protesters we asked, we were like, "Does that apology fix anything for you guys?" And they're like, "Well, no, because they still haven't said that they are against China." And it's like, well, I didn't think we were ever going to get that, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to get any company, like a big company actively saying, like, if they're active in China, you're not going to get them saying, well, yes, we're
Free Hong
against
Kong.
China.
Yeah.
That's corporate, right? That's just the nature of the beast. I thought it was okay.
I'm just glad they addressed it.
I was gonna say
Instead of
I didn't look at it as an apology. I looked at it as an acknowledgement.
yeah.
And for me, that's really all I was expecting was I just wanted you to acknowledge that you did it and that you were wrong. Like, just acknowledge the fact that you effed up this situation and we can move on. So they did. And then, boy, does Blizzard know how to follow up the apology, right? Like, hey, guys, we're really sorry we did this. And, okay, well, have a good day. The lights turn off. Everyone's wondering what's going on. All of a sudden, the video starts. People are getting hyped. What is it? And you hear whispers, right? Everyone's whispering around you of what they think it is. They think it's the new World of Warcraft expansion. Oh, they think it's a new Warcraft game in general. Diablo
Overwatch
4,
2.
Overwatch 2. Like, what is it? What is it? And so we watched some of the cinematic, and I'll put this in the montage because this only happened to the people in Hall D. The only people that saw this were in that hall. It didn't go out on stream. It didn't go out into the venue. Only the thousands of few people that were in this hall. The video starts. I think at this point, people are gathering that this is probably Diablo 4 with how gory and dark
we're
it's
about
been.
2 minutes into the video at this point.
Right when the blood starts, like, trickling towards his hand, if you've seen the release video, the in-house monitors, like, alt-tab to the desktop. For, like, a solid minute and a half, the audio is still going on. So this entire time, everyone is just freaking out, like, in the venue. Like, what the hell is going on? I'm dying laughing. And then, like, you just hear the screams from this video of, like, something is happening. Someone is dying right now. And yet we are missing it all. Like,
It comes up about a minute later. A full minute of just audio. I mean, again, the panic in there it was pretty amusing at that point.
And then all of
But
a
yeah,
sudden
it
comes
comes
back
up
on.
about a minute later, live feed again, and it's back to dead silence in there. Everybody's eyes are just glued to the TVs at this point.
So that was just a fun time in general there. So Diablo 4, I guess if you want, we can just. Do you want to kind of treat this as our way of talking about the games as well, just so we're not doubling up on it?
No, let's do that.
All right. So Diablo 4, we got to play test all the games, so we have a pretty good idea on this. Now we didn't play test like some people here, dude. We're taking. Nope. And I get it. We're an esports podcast, so, like, we're just talking about this from a fan's point of view. You have some people out here, I understand you do, like, a gaming article website, but it's like they have notebooks. They're taking, like, copious.
Writing down every ability name.
The UI. It's just, come on, bro. Like, everyone's going to see this, like, in a second. Like, just whatever. I don't know. That's my point, all right? You're supposed to play the demo for 15 minutes. They said it. 15-minute demo. And then when this reporter sits down in front of us, we're like, me and Anuj are sitting there waiting our turn to play, and they play it 3 times in a row, 45 minutes later to get all their notes. It's like, all right, I see you. What's your publication? Never going to read it. Don't care. Don't tell me.
And this is Tim exiting the salt mine.
So we had Diablo 4. We did get to play it. Your thoughts?
it felt like a Diablo game to me. Like I
Yeah.
didn't visually it looked good. It felt like all the other Diablos. I thought it, did look dark and gloomy, but mind you, we had a 15-20 minute play test through it that we got to go through. I played the druid in there. I liked it. I mean, again, it felt like Diablo. I'm happy it's new content. This is what we're waiting for, so definitely stoked for it, but I didn't see anything drastically different. I'll tell you my only thing that I have a little bit of a qualm with, not major, but would be 3 characters on release or 3 playable classes on
Yeah.
release. Kind of hoping for a little bit more there, more variety. I feel
I
like
never
it can
really understand why
get
games
repetitive
do that.
quick.
Like Diablo
Yeah,
4 has like what, 5 or 6 right now that you could pick. So to
yeah.
jump back to 3 seems a bit odd to me. I don't know if it's for the story's sake or whatnot. Maybe it would make sense later on when we get to hear more about how the game's story is. But yeah, I agree. That was a little odd. But from the playstyle, I played the sorcerer. It played like the wizard in D3. I
Yeah.
understand like in this one, like if there's a cliff, you can use your abilities to kind of jump down off the cliff to hit things, and you can throw boulders off cliffs and things like that. But you know, it felt like Diablo, but in a good way.
Yeah,
Now, if
I
you've
agree.
played Diablo 2 and 3 and any other action RPG and we're like, I just don't like these games, you're not going to like this. Like that's just obviously not the genre for you then, because it does feel like a Diablo game.
And in terms of being like a darker, gloomier setting, like again, it looked and felt like Diablo 3 to me. I didn't play it enough to notice that much of a difference. We'll kind of see that as we dive deeper into the story. But again, I thought it was good. For what people are wanting, this is it. So if you're
Yeah.
looking forward to the Diablo, you're getting your wish here.
Now, we did get to talk to some of the publishers during a signing, and I did sneak in a question and ask them, with PvP, is there any chance of having like esports involved with Diablo? And he did say he would love to see it. So take that for what you will. Who knows? They did even say in the press conference that there's going to be a tad bit more focus on PvP again, like for PvP areas in this Diablo. Diablo 3 had it, but come on. It was pretty whack. Like it
It was
was,
terrible.
yeah, you could barely call it PvP. Like it was awful. So who knows? And we've seen that Blizzard likes to support their games at least at BlizzCon, right? Apart from Heroes of the Storm, but they even supported that for a little bit. So maybe we see some PvP esports action from Diablo 4. It'll be interesting. I kind of like maybe oh crap, what was that game? Oh, I forget, but it was like that arena fighter hero game thing. It doesn't matter. It's a dead game. It was popular for a little bit, but I don't think people
Arena
play it.
fighter. No, not trying to.
Yeah, it was. I mean, think of it like a MOBA. Like it had heroes like a MOBA, but it wasn't Battleborn. No, Prong Attack in Twitch chat says Battleborn. It wasn't Battleborn. I remember I paid. It was one of those stupid games. Oh my god, I could. There's a list of them in my Steam library where I was an idiot that was like, "Oh, I'll pay for this game. Why not?" And then like 3 months later, it goes free to play, and you're like, "Cool,
Half my
thank you."
collection.
I don't know. I forget the name of the game. I can't find it on my Steam library right now because I don't understand the new Steam beta look that's going on here. But that's besides the point. I think it could work. My point is, I think Battle Right. That's it. Phil's amazing man said it in chat. Battle Right. Um, Something like that. I could see Diablo 4 being somewhat of a game like that when it comes to their PvP. So, which I think is a good esports model for a game that already has some backing. The issue with Battle Right, it was like a new original, like indie developed game, which I just don't think works out in today's world. Like
I think it's going to be up to the community to see if it becomes popular or not. In the sense of, I don't think it's going to get a ton of traction from Blizzard unless they see there's a huge like need for it, and the community kind of runs with
Well, it
it
just
first.
depends on how
But
Blizzard sets it up, right? Like if
yeah,
they set it up to be very casual, then sure, yeah, it's just gonna be casual through the community, but we'll see. After that, they did WoW. Yeah,
they did HOTS. We
Oh
got
yeah.
we got like a little bit of the HOTS and the StarCraft update. Again, I think it was just like a new playable captain or commander for StarCraft,
StarCraft,
and then for HOTS, it was their new
Deathwing.
Battlegrounds and Deathwing announcement. For Hearthstone, I think the Battlegrounds, Tim and I got to play that as well. That felt pretty good. That's their take on the team fighting tactics, it seems like, but in card form. Again, I think it's cool. Like I didn't love it, I would say.
The issue,
Um,
well, I will say this too with with Hearthstone Battlegrounds in the demo, they did zero explaining the rules. Like you were
you
like
just went in.
we had no idea until about round 6 what the hell we were even trying to do and what people cost and what you could buy back and sell back but if you like that style of game, if you like the auto chess game, I liked it. I had fun with it. But I like those chill, relaxing type of games, at times. Then we got into World of Warcraft, Shadowlands, that cinematic. I swear, between this and the Overwatch 2 cinematic, and all of them, all of the cinematic Blizzard's ever do, I will never understand why they don't just make a movie. Why don't you make a
Or
little
animated
series?
series or something,
Like, it's all there. You have it. Just get some solid ass writers in there to actually make a real script, and you are sitting on a gold mine, Blizzard. Give us some credit. Say personal thanks to TCR at the beginning. You're welcome. You're welcome. That's all we need. But Shadowland, that looked cool. We'll see.
There's like 5 or 6 new zones that we saw, like something
We
called
played
Covenants.
the demo, and then we played the demo for about 30 seconds, said, yep, it's WoW, and got up. Like, again, that's one where you're like, people writing down all the skills and the UI changes, and it's like, bro, it's a demo for a game that's about to celebrate its 15-year anniversary. Like,
Yeah, they're like changing like the way the loot system works and the rewards for like weekly chests. They added a bunch of character like facial animations and
I think
and
something's
different
changing with
character
alt
styles.
characters and whatnot.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to be a wait and see, with
We'll get
WoW.
it, though, right? Like, at this
Yeah,
point, 15 years of playing WoW, I'm not going to be like, not this expansion, man.
not this one.
Not this one. This is where I say no. Like, no,
We'll
you got
get
my
it,
money.
play it, get to max level, and then see if we still continue playing.
Um. Well, then after that, you had Hearthstone. That's where they got really big into the battlegrounds again, and the new expansion coming from there. If you're into Hearthstone, there you go. It was funny because after WoW, a lot of the room started leaving. Like you could tell as soon as WoW was done, people were like, "Peace, don't care about Hearthstone." And after Hearthstone, though, good old Jeff from the Overwatch team walks on the stage. Everyone's getting hyped because we all know it's Overwatch 2 at this point. And Jeff, go back if you didn't get to watch his opening speech. I thought it was really funny. Like that dude is so likable. He could say he supports China, and I wouldn't even care.
He made some jokes, obviously, about all the leaks and stuff that have come out, and
Yeah,
really played into it with the crowd. But yeah,
yeah.
he's the right guy you want to
Yeah.
be the face of your
If you need
company.
someone to diffuse the situation, diffuse tension, get Jeff to do it. So Overwatch 2 was announced. We talked about this, I think, last episode about how they need to handle Overwatch. And my God, Anuj, I think they're fans of TCR.
They have to be.
It is not a coincidence that it is exactly what we said they had to do. And so what they're doing is obviously they're introducing PvE to the game. They're introducing new heroes, overall graphical update and UI changes.
And one new game mode, right? Push
and
mode.
a new game mode and some new maps. So we said last week or last episode, they have to make this into one client eventually. Like you cannot split the player base. for Overwatch and Overwatch 2. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're not splitting the player base. So in case you don't know yet, what they're doing for Overwatch is the Overwatch we play now will eventually be absorbed into Overwatch 2. If all you're worried about is PvP and multiplayer, don't worry about it. You're going to get all the heroes like you've been getting, all the maps, all the game mode. You're even going to get the graphical update completely for free. You will not see a change in your availability to play. The only thing that you will see is anything to do with PvE is locked out. You have to buy Overwatch 2 to get to the PvE section, which bravo to Overwatch, bravo to Blizzard, and whoever the hell came up with that. Obviously, it's us. We came up with that. But whoever listened to us and decided to do it, because more games need to do, like, if you're going to do something like that where it's like maybe a game too soon or it's similar things, like, that's exactly how you should do it.
There's not many games where you'd have that opportunity because the games are usually not that alike, right? Where like it's
They're
the same
completely
game.
different.
Yeah, like in this, like you can't do Call of Duty for Black Ops and then be like, hey, we're gonna take it and merge it with.
You can do Call of Duty where you make Modern Warfare, you implement the world's worst map selection, and then say you're going to release all the old maps in a map pack that's going to cost probably $30. You can do that.
That'll be better. No, I don't think they'll charge for it. I think all the maps are free for Modern Warfare, they said. We'll see if they do that though. But yeah, for this was absolutely the way to do it. I think combining the two is going to leave the player base healthy. I think the PvE, Tim, I don't know about you, but we got to try the PvE, and I liked it. I liked
It's
the
fun.
PvP part of it, or PvE part of it. Like you were with a group of 4 characters all together. You'll get to select them in the demo. We didn't get a select. We played a pre-selected group to make sure the comp was right. But we went through, a full PvE game session. It was us taking, I think, were we going through Toronto or what were we doing? I don't even know what map we were on.
I have no idea what map it was. No,
But
it was Brazil. It was Brazil because you went to go help Lucio.
that's right. And so, I felt like the boss fights were semi-challenging. Like there was mechanics to them where we all died at one point.
Because we didn't know.
We didn't know what was
he
going on. But
electrified the floor, and you're like, oh, we can't stand on that. You do get to like have a talents. It's like the story modes now, but like really amped up, like thoughtful and have ideas and things like that. So I personally enjoyed it. It felt really smooth.
I want to know if your points carry over into PvP. Like, are you going to be able to choose your character's abilities in PvP, or are those going to be static?
No, that's just PvE. They're not
That's
doing
just
that
for
talent
PvE.
for PvP. There's no way. I'm sure
You don't
someone
think so?
asked them that question. So here's the thing. When you're at BlizzCon, as amazing as it is, you do miss some things. And considering we just flew in like 3 hours ago, we haven't been able to like rewatch a lot of it. But like we didn't get to go to the Q&A sessions because if you went to the Q&A sessions for all the games, you would literally be in Hall D. I'm not joking, all day.
You would have been there all day Saturday or Friday.
And some people were. Some people never left that room all weekend long. But like I'm there to have fun and I'm there to do more than just report on the games. Like I want to report on the experience. So that question was probably answered, Anuj, but I can almost promise you that they're not going to put those talents in PvP. Because did you just read some of those? It's like ridiculous.
It would just be cool. Yeah. I didn't know. I mean, it would make for a different variety of gameplay.
Like Ryan,
I
played Reinhardt, and like his fire strike would blow up and catch the people next to him on fire. Like, yeah,
legit.
Right.
Pretty legit.
Like, good luck having that in PvP. Like, he's so overpowered as hell. But it was fun. I mean, again, I don't charge $60 for it. Like, it's probably gonna be $40 if I had to imagine. But
60 would be rough. That'd be hard to big pill to swallow.
I mean, unless the PvE is a lot, like unless they just put a lot into it other than just the story missions.
Kept seeing the word replayability. I'm always curious to see if that's really the case or not.
Whoa, I'm dying. He said replayability like Diablo. And it's like, yeah, I guess that was replayable for like 2 years. Now there is no playability for Diablo 3, but we'll see. And that's really it as far as the game announcements. Man, the opening ceremony for me, it kind of sucks. It sounds like a cop out because it's the first thing of the weekend, but I thought it was the best part. Like, I got a little emotional during the opening ceremony, like seeing Diablo, but seeing like that the Overwatch, and like they're like, is Overwatch back? And I'm like, you're goddamn right, it's back. Like, it got a little emotional. Like, that's where I felt like I was like, oh, this is BlizzCon. Like, you feel that hype in the room.
No, 100%. The opening ceremonies were by far my favorite part too, but not for the Overwatch aspect of it. It was just the announcements in general, seeing the excitement, hearing the buzz. Um, you could see how excited the Diablo 4 crowd was. You saw the hardcore World of Warcraft fans there. It was just like a big mosh pit of like gaming love in that room is what it felt like for that hour. And the hype was real, and it was just exciting to be there as they were making these announcements, to see people's reactions to it. um I thought it was spot on. I mean, obviously, other than the one fiasco with the Diablo announcement shutting off on us there in the main studio, I thought everything was pretty flawless. Like, it got me hyped, it got me excited, and so that's what I was hoping to feel in that moment. Honestly, I
Yeah.
was really hoping that I would kind of be captured um, with the opening ceremonies, and I
I
definitely
wanted it to
was.
make me want to go home and download every single Blizzard game.
Yeah,
And it did.
and we
Like, I went,
downloaded a couple of them and
yeah,
fell asleep.
like I went back to that night and downloaded Hearthstone. So, definitely looking for. I think a lot of people get to play a lot of the betas and stuff starting Tuesday. I think Warcraft 3 betas start on Tuesday. The battlegrounds for Hearthstone start on Tuesday. So we'll be able to talk a little bit more about those. One cool thing about the BlizzCon that they did, though, is on the showroom floor, they had like the entire production room that you could walk past and see. I think I posted a picture of it on Twitter. If not, I will. But it's really cool just to kind of see everything going on. I would have loved to see that room when that presentation messed up, because there was someone there about to get fired.
Oh my god, somebody hitting Alt Tab faster than
Just
he's ever hit it before.
Yeah, like just right there. Thank God it was only in the main cabin though, because could you imagine if that was within
On the
10
stream.
minutes of BlizzCon starting and millions of people saw that get messed up? So after the opening ceremony, we kind of walked around, saw the showroom floor, went to the media area. A bomb food. Like,
Food
they
was on
they
point. It
said
was
they
good.
gave us lunch and dinner each day, and each day it was amazing. The desserts, oh baby, that red velvet brownie thing they had going on,
Tiramisu. Mm.
delicious. The pasta chicken Alfredo, wish I could take it home. Wish I could take it home. Good food. I stupidly underestimated the amount of media that was at this place.
It was packed. I mean, people were from just all over the place.
All over the world. I mean, China, Hong Kong, Korea,
Brazil. We were
Europe,
play testing with people from Brazil when we were doing the
Brazil. Like,
Overwatch 2 stuff.
it is every place under the sun, I think, had a reporter here reporting on it. So really just goes to show, again, just the global reach of gaming and Blizzard is just nuts, and how big BlizzCon is. But yeah, so that was crazy to see. What else for day
One other
2?
shout out I want to give from when we were at the press areas, we also play tested over there. We play tested Diablo Immortal.
Oh,
And
damn, I
we got to
completely
touch on
forgot.
that. And that was actually surprisingly really good, I thought. I know it got knocked hard. I think more so just because of that being the only announcement. Had they announced it right after they announced Diablo 4, and they're like, hey, by the way, we got this mobile game coming out, it would have been much better received. But Tim and I got to try it. And I got to say, man, it played really good on mobile. We played it on an iPad, I think
Yeah,
it was. And
yeah.
very smooth, very intuitive, and easy because of just the number of buttons that are involved with Diablo. So I actually think it's going to do well on mobile.
No, I'm with you. Like, it was there. And I was like, bro, we gotta try it. They didn't bring it up at all
No.
in that opening ceremony. Like, they wouldn't dare bring it up. But it was, it was, yeah, right, exactly. Like Prong Attack said, he goes, after standing in lines for so long at BlizzCon, Immortal would have been nice to have. And he's 100% right. Like, Immortal isn't going to be your main game, right? It's not going to change the way you see Diablo, but it's going to be nice for when you're on vacation. You don't want to bring a Switch. You don't want to bring a laptop. You got an opportunity, right? You're, maybe after a big fiber dinner, you got some time to kill later on, right? Dropping the kids off at the pool, if you know what I mean. You can play it, right? It's like Anuj said, had they announced it this year with Diablo 4, I think everyone would have loved the idea of it. It's just the fact that you tried selling it as I was supposed to be excited. Kind of a shame because, I really think even when it's released, it just left such a bad taste in everyone's mouth. But I'm telling you, it played nice. It was Diablo.
And to finish off our day that day, we did 2 esports events. We stopped in on the StarCraft tournament that was going on, watched a little bit of that in the Blizzard Arena, and that
Incredible.
was kind of holding its own. It was actually pretty packed in there. It was pretty busy. The amount of people there that were there to watch StarCraft was impressive. And then we headed over to the WoW Mythic Dungeon finals that were going on, and we stepped in right in time. I mean, we walked in while Method NA was playing Method EU. Um, got a chance to see EU completely dominate that matchup, and even that, Tim, like I was surprised at how many people were there because this is like towards the end of the night. People are starting to trickle off. People are starting to fade off. They've been there for 12 hours at this point. But the WoW Mythic Dungeon area was quite busy also
Every
along with the
esport was
StarCraft side.
packed.
Yeah, it really was.
Even for StarCraft in the arena, we weren't there for the grand finals. I would have loved to have walked in for the grand finals, but it wasn't until like 9 o'clock, and Daddy needs his sleep. But even for the semis, I think we were watching. I mean, it was a decent size. That arena is huge, and it had a lot of people there for StarCraft. So I thought that was really good. The WoW Mythic. I mean, Method EU defeated Method NA. Not really sure how you can have 2 teams in that category, but I guess beggars can't be choosers with Blizzard here.
Tim watched the final game-winning moments with the owner of Method.
Yep, standing right next to him. What's his name?
Scott McMillan, I think.
Something like that.
Scott.
Was standing right next to him when he saw one team win, one team lose. Doesn't look like there was any favoritism there, I can report. That was crazy too, because it was 2-1 or 2-0 at the time, I believe. And NA really had the win. Like, I think they were like a good 30 or 40 seconds ahead in time-wise, and then just blew up towards the end. I think they ended up getting like 4 deaths which adds 40 seconds of time, I believe, or 20 seconds of time.
20 seconds. 20.
It's 5 per death. And obviously at that point, at this level, you're really allowed, I think, 2 deaths, maybe. But if you die 4 times and have 20 seconds worth of penalty, like, that other team has to really screw up as well. And when you're
because
already...
Method NA killed the last boss first with time to spare.
Yeah, they won the race.
They just didn't have 20 extra seconds to spare. They ended up losing it about 10 to 12 seconds after that. So that was exciting, though. I thought that was like a good way at the end of the day to watch a little bit of esports in general and just have a time to sit there and enjoy.
And also on day 2, we met up with some listeners. We met up with Kai Kuma. He's through some of our listeners via Discord. That one was kind of cool. We were just sitting there looking at the shop, looking at all the items. What did I do with my magnet? It wasn't in my bag. Did I leave my magnet at the hotel? No, I digress. I just literally remembered I unpacked it. I didn't see my magnet.
We'll have to get back to that and look.
I almost want to stop the showdown so I can go look for my BlizzCon magnet. I really worked hard for that. That's all I wanted was a stupid magnet all weekend. But the line was so damn long because it's like $8, right? So I'm like, okay, I can fit that in my bag. I can take that magnet home. and it's like the key art Blizzcon magnet. And actually, if you look behind me, I have like 2014's poster behind me. So I got it, but man, I hope I didn't lose that. It's got to be somewhere then. But you can tell, like, we went yesterday to the shop because there was no lines during the grand finals for World Cup. We went during the first map, and I was like, "Is this in stock? No. Is this in stock? No. Is that in stock? Yup. I'll take the magnet.
That's the one.
Give
That's
me
the
the
one.
magnet."
Give it to me.
So that's what I finally was able to do. But damn, I hope I don't lose that. What were we talking about?
Listener,
Oh,
we ran into
we met
to
listeners.
Kai.
Sorry, I'm just so concerned about my lost magnet. Yeah, we ran into Kai. Like, we're looking at the booth, and he taps me on the shoulder. He's like, "Are you Tim?" And I was like, "Oh, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." Like, and then he's like, "I love you guys." And I was like, "Oh, thank God it's a listener."
That was
So
awesome, though.
That was pretty cool, right? To be recognized like that. Shout out Kai. Hope you got home safe. I didn't tell him this to his face, but it's okay to not be a. What's that Spaceman Gaming org?
I think it's Spaceman Gaming.
No, Spaceman Gaming was the other.
No, Space Gaming or something like that.
Oh, look, this just tells you, right? Because he's from Utah, right? And he's like, yeah, there's not a lot of esports there. There's like one org, and I'm blanking on the name. Astronaut Gaming. I don't care what the name is. I'm never gonna watch their games in my life. He's like, yeah,
Space Station Gaming.
Space Station Gaming. Thank you. And like on even day 2, we bumped into him, and he's like wearing their shirt. I'm like, oh, you were lying. Like, you are a fan of them. Okay then. It's okay to like another team just because they're not from your state. Maybe pick like Cloud9 or something, even though they'll disappoint you. Don't do that. Don't pick Cloud9. Don't make the same mistakes I did. So that was awesome. Prong Attack right now. Shout out Prong Attack. He is on our Twitch chat right now, but he's also active in our Discord. Saved a spot for us for the USA versus someone. I don't even remember because USA just dominated everyone so hard. But they saved us a spot at the T-Mobile section. We had like front row couch seats, so that was pretty badass. That was a good way to watch the match. So it was awesome to catch up with him. He's like what I would picture being a Californian. He was pretty California to me. Also diehard USA fan. Showed up with his American socks, flag, hat, shirt, everything. So that was pretty badass.
Did it right.
Yep, that's the way you want to do it.
He was front row there in the arena.
Yeah, like arena, front and center. I'm pretty sure he was on the stream a handful of times. I saw him on the big screen anyways there. So TCR listeners being represented well. So that's pretty awesome to see out there. And that pretty much wrapped up day 2 in Anaheim, but day 1 at BlizzCon. So what an exhausting first day. Like an amazing day.
So at the end of the night, we were invited to go out. We had bumped into bumped into Jay from NV Gaming, and Jay is like
he's head of their social media,
and now has like several other titles. He just does so much for him, and so we're into Jay, an awesome guy. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing tonight? Come out and join us. And so we're like, you know what, just we'll hit you up. We'll send you a DM on Twitter. We'll find out where you're going.
We'd love to go hang out,
grub.
right? Like,
yeah.
Well, hell yeah, man. Let's go party.
And Tim and I this whole time are talking like, yeah, this is like, let's go do this. We'll go get some food, freshen up, get back out there, get going. So we take the 1 mile walk home, pick up a little bit of grub on our way there. I think we had some pizza is what we got. We ended up getting pizza that night from, right? Wasn't it pizza?
No, we didn't get pizza.
What did we get? Burgers. We got burgers from like Carl's Jr. I don't know, some burger spot over there that we were just walking by. Get back to the room. I'm passed out, burger in hand, laying on the bed, computer in my lap, half burger eaten. It just wasn't going to happen. There was just no chance.
Because even on our way back to the hotel, we were like, oh, we hope Jay just says he's going to bed. Just hope Jay says he's going to bed. And Jay's not. Like, He is not going to say that. And so we asked what he's doing. He's like, yeah, man. He sends me a link. They're going to like some nightclub charity event with some DJ. I'm like, yeah, bro. We might go. If not, we'll catch you tomorrow, though. And he's like, yeah, dude. I was like, ooh, family show. No F words here. Look at Nude. I look at a Nude and I'm like, bro, we are not going.
This can't happen right now. This is not happening right now.
We are
Done.
not going to that. So that was day 1 of BlizzCon. Day 2 of BlizzCon, but day 3 of the trip on Saturday. That would have been just yesterday for us here, recording Sunday night. We overslept through our alarm, which was a blessing. Because we even said, we don't have to get there because day 2, the announcements are done, Q&As are done. It's really just panels and things going on, right? Not a whole lot to do as far as like new things. There's still a ton to do. But so we slept in, got there around noon, I would say, maybe 12:30. Right when we walk in, we bump into Team India, their Overwatch team. We bumped into the owner, the player, and head of community. Right?
Yeah, community manager. Community
manager there. So we actually got a quick interview with them. We'll have that in our montage as well. But, you know, Anuj, I know what was funny is we actually saw the team the day before, and Anuj was too scared to go talk to his fellow man.
They were like all just chilling out, hanging out. They had their own little corner. I was like, man, I'm not going to walk in the middle of this combo.
Were you afraid because they looked chilled, or were you afraid that they would call you a phony Indian?
I didn't want to be called an ABCD with them, so I just didn't want that floating over me. So a little nervous day 1, but day 2, yeah, we do run into them outside, do an interview with them. We're definitely going to have them on the show at some point because I thought it was a really good conversation and they were so knowledgeable about just the esports culture in India alone. So we'll post that interview, but it was fun, really fun getting to meet them and hear their take on the event and how long they had been in the States, just traveling prior to the event. So a long trip for them, and they represented well. So that was cool to get to meet them.
Yeah, it was, it's just kind of cool hearing their perspective because it's so different than what we know, right? Like we're used to talking to NA teams or EU teams that have so many resources out there for just gaming and practicing in general, and to hear their kind of take on where it's like, we kind of have to work with what we have. Like India's in a goofy spot where it's too early for like
can't scrim with NA, can't scrim with EU.
Yeah, just the timing is weird. So it was very interesting. They were super cool guys. They laughed at my jokes, which is all I can ask for. My jokes sprinkled in with some race humor, but that's okay. I mentioned that my wife does yoga, and that's about as much as Indian as I go. So they laughed. I thought they took it well. So we're definitely going to have them on the show sometime, though. Like that whole thing, and my God, I don't know what it is, but as soon as we have Noah Gregson on the show, we can't shake PUBG. Because
it's all over
they didn't talk about too much in the interview, but prior they were saying because we said well, what's the popular game in India right now? And they said PUBG. They were like, PUBG in India is like
mobile.
Or PUBG Mobile. Yep, thank you. Is what Fortnite is to America. Like they said, PUBG Mobile is everywhere. You go to the store, people are playing it in the store while walking, while shopping. People behind the counters are playing. They're like, it is just a global phenomenon in India that. But they are saying too that like it's opening up opportunities for everyone else gaming out there. So kind of odd. I don't know why PUBG just blew up, but whatever. So we got done talking with Team India, which was cool. You could catch that in the montage when it goes up later this week. And then, like, not 2 minutes later, we're chilling outside, and who walks by but Kusta from the LA Valiant? Well, not Kusta, Kusta. Kusta would also be interesting if you walked by, but Kusta. Yeah. Kusta walks by, just casually. No one's stopping him. I say, hey, Kusta, what's up? And all I did was say hi. This guy is such a gentleman, walks over to talk to us.
Yeah, stops right there.
What a sweetheart. What a gentleman.
And
An
had a good
angel.
convo with them, like, it wasn't, like, just a quick, "Hey, how are you? Best of luck at the
Got a
season," like,
liner. You know we got
got
a
a
liner.
liner. We talked a little Overwatch 2 with him, we asked him if he got a chance to play it, and he had not, so he asked us our take on it, and obviously it's a valuable take, so I'm sure he is taking our feedback directly to the dev team as we speak, but,
Of course.
um, yeah, I mean, he kind of expected a lot of what we told him, we told him what we thought about the PvE, and he goes, "Yeah, that's kind of what we were hearing," and, definitely, like, just a easy person to talk to,
Yeah.
like, he was just really genuine and great little combo there.
Yep. So that was neat. After that, we went to the Blizzard Arcade, which was in the basement of the convention center. This was a really cool area. Of course, this is where they stuck Heroes of the Storm, in the basement. But this was like where their classic games were, and a little bit of like museum, I guess I would say, like an artifact area where like you saw the folder for the first Diablo concept folder. It looks like
Yeah,
a high school project. Like that was crazy to see. That's kind of
they
like where
had
this whole thing started.
they had, like, a little bar there that was from one of the games. They had, like, Warcraft 3, like, the original game, original Warcraft 3 there for you
Lost
to play, so it's kinda like
Vikings, you
a
could play them.
retro arcade that they put together, and this is where we, like, turned the stream on. We were doing some live streaming out there that was fairly successful for us over the weekend and turned it back on at this point, and this is where, like, I think the craziness with the lines kind of came into play. What
Yeah,
did you say? Like,
so
it
it definitely. So I mean, it's just it was ridiculous. Like I said earlier, it's every line we went into, we just got to skip. It was fascinating. Because after there, we went to they had like this Diablo museum area. The line was ridiculous, wrapped around the corner, down the hallway. Like it would have been like a 45-minute wait. You walk through, you saw some like original sculptures and concept art and the
yeah,
paintings and things like that, capping it off with some publisher signings, things like that. We just walked to the front and I was like, yo, you know who I am? And they said, yes, sir, we do. And at least that's how I remember it. And they said, okay, we'll just go over there and talk. And they said, I don't know. So I went to the exit, which is kind of what you do. You go to the exit and ask, hey, we're media, and they go, oh, okay. Well, hold on. And then all of a sudden we get like a private escort leading us through the front of the line,
all the way through.
all the way through. So that worked out. Pretty badass to see some of those. I wouldn't mind some of those paintings hanging up in my office. I think my wall is big enough.
Think it would take up the whole wall, but yeah.
Yeah. We went to Dark Moon Fair. They had that kind of set up upstairs. That was neat. That's where like you could go and do a pin. So here's my thing. I'm a big sucker for collectibles. I collect comic books. I collect Pokemon cards. If you could spend your money on something stupid, believe me, I'm doing it. So I was like, damn, Anuj, you know what I need to do? I need to start collecting pins. Like, this is a thing. Like, at Disneyland and all these places, they have pins you buy and you trade them, and, it just looks fun. And then we saw the major league of pin collecting here. They had tables
Pin
set up.
trading area.
Oh, my God. These people have been collecting pins. They have binders, multiple binders full of these stupid ass pins.
Hundreds and hundreds of pins.
And they're trying to trade with people and barter, and well, that's not worth as much. You can, what if you trade me this? So I have this pin out of the box, or I have this pin brand new in the box, never opened. And it's like, what? Like,
This is where Tim's dreams were shattered. He
oh my
realized
God.
at
I
this
just
point,
looked at a new and I was like, yeah, I'm not a pin guy.
yeah,
I'm not a pin guy.
I'm too late. We're 20 years too late on that drive.
Yeah. I could have been collecting pins my entire life. I'm not going to start now at the age of 29. Not going to do it. Like I said, I got enough things I got to collect. Very impressive though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking the pin community. If anyone wants to donate their collection to me to start, I'll gladly take it. But that was pretty cool. They had like these goodie boxes there that were like $50 a piece. You're nuts if you bought them, by the way, but more power to you. there was a lot of expensive stuff here. Like well, there was things that were reasonably priced, but like that I felt was pretty egregiously priced.
We did our Amazon shopping the night of, so
Yeah, for real. Pro tip on this, guys. Look this stuff up on Amazon. Like the WoW pop-up book there was like $60. We went to the hotel that night. 65. We went to the hotel that night on Amazon. The same exact book, like $30. Like, okay. GG,
and I
Blizzard.
just told everybody I got it from BlizzCon.
Yeah,
And
doesn't
it'll be
make a
here tomorrow at
difference.
my door. Yeah.
So, like, easy money there. What else here did we do that day? So we went to the arena. Oh no, we went to arcade. We went to the Dark Moon Fair. We already talked about all these statues going around the Diablo. This is kind of like where the finals for these events started playing off now. Hearthstone had their finals where first ever female winner. So there's that. I am told that's a big deal. I think I am so ascended, I don't see gender at all, personally, Anuj. So to me, I just saw a person winning.
Somebody won.
Somebody won. So that's, I mean, look, I made jokes about it in person, not on writing, so you can't pin me on it. It is cool that I guess the gender wall is... I don't get it. No, you know what? I'm going to say it. I don't get it. I don't get why we constantly preach with video games and esports how any gender can do it. There's no gender walls. Anyone could do it. And yet when someone does do it, we try making it a big deal that they broke it down. But a couple months ago, I was just told there was no wall to break down. But now I'm being told she just broke it. I put it out there. All right? I'm not taking it back. I'm not ashamed of what I just said. I'm happy for her for winning it. Congratulations. That's it.
Now the first is gone, so I don't think we'll see it be a big deal in the future.
Maybe. Maybe not. Wouldn't you hate to be the second, though? No one cares about this. You're the second female? Big freaking whoop. So,
One of
there's
us.
that. Let's see what else. Oh, so the Overwatch. This was funny too. So, speaking of lines, right? The arena for the World Cup on Saturday was nut to butt. Like, you couldn't, if you were just a normal person, you really couldn't get into the arena if you were arriving at any reasonable time before any of the matches. I know Kai was in for the finals. I don't know if Prong Attack made it. He had to have made it for the finals. There's no way
They had to just let him in.
Yeah, right. No
They
way
had
he
to just
did
let
it.
him in.
But that was another one where we tried going up ahead. This dude was like, no, you can't go in. You can't go in. It's completely blocked off. And we were like, yeah, okay, but you don't know who we are. So we walked back out, got one of the BlizzCon staff, and we're like, yo, we're media. Can we go in? And they're like, oh, yeah. You just walk back in. So we walked right past the dude who just told us no, looked him dead in the eyes and said, don't you ever tell us no again. And we walked right into the arena.
Straight in.
It was
Straight
a good
in.
feeling. It's a good feeling when like the security guard tells you, no, you can't go this way. And then you come back 30 seconds later saying, actually, I can go this way.
The best part is that's actually on stream. So you can
Yeah.
actually go see that moment. Like
Right.
that's 100% their video evidence.
So getting to the arena and everything there, that place is going bonkers. USA the day before swept South Korea, right? One of the favorites, never to lose a World Cup, South Korea. A little high horse on your high horse, you little cocky South Koreans. USA, freedom, shut you down. You weren't defeated by the Overwatch team. You were defeated by freedom. Fast forward to Saturday. You didn't get enough freedom? Freedom smacked you again right in the mouth. So USA knocks out South Korea twice, eliminating them, or at least sending them to like the third place game, whatever. But who cares about third place when you got the gold? You know what I'm saying? So,
Where did we watch that match from?
funny you should mention this, Anuj, because we watched that match from the owners section with fully catered meals and drinks and snacks,
Red Bulls, whatever you
Red
wanted.
Bulls, you name it. We just feasted like kings during that match.
We even had security come up to us and said, "Are you guys?" They asked us, "Are you guys supposed to be sitting here? And can we see your badge?" And we said, "Yeah, we're with the center ring. Here's our badge." He looks at it, confused, obviously,
we were just so confident.
and he was like, "All right," and just turned around and walked away. And Tim and I continued to sip on our water and eat our snacks and
And even
have
Jay
our
was
energy
sitting
drinks.
next to us, like, "How'd you guys get in here?" And we're like, we just kind of walked in, like,
We acted like we belonged.
to be fair though,
Conviction is like the word of the weekend because we just brought it everywhere we went.
the people watching the front entryway to this area, like, we did say, like, before we went in there, we go, "Hey, we're media. Where do we go?" And they were like, "Well, I don't know." And then we looked at this area that at the time we didn't know was the owner section, right? It was just very empty. Like, no one was in that section. And said, we were like, "Can we sit there?" And they were like, yeah, go right in. Go right in. So we did. And we sat there for like 2 hours, like unscathed, like no big deal. So I think the match ended. We were like, all right, let's go watch WoW Arena, was it?
Yeah.
So we went and watched the finals of WoW, or we watched the losers finals first, which was Cloud9,
Like Wicked Gaming, I think, or something.
Wicked, something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know. That was entertaining. I don't understand WoW Arena nearly as much as you do. I have never been good at WoW Arena.
It was fun to watch, though. I thought it was like enjoyable to watch. I mean,
Again, packed though.
yeah,
Packed house.
really was.
All of these games, man. The fan for each game is just insane, like the amount of reach that it has. So that was very exciting to watch. So after the WoW Arena, we're like, all right, well, now it is about to start. Like the World Cup. It was during the
The
bronze
last
match.
event of the weekend here.
Yeah, nothing else was going on at this point unless you wanted to watch some concerts going on, which that was the last thing I wanted to sit through after going through a BlizzCon weekend. So we went and went back into the arena to go watch the third place matchup between South Korea and France. I think South Korea did end up winning that, so congratulations on third place. And we were like, well, let's just go back to the owner's box. Like, the guy watching it knows us, so let's just go back there. No big deal. We go in, walk right up, grab a Red Bull, get some drinks, get some snacks, say hi to Jay again. He's sitting there. And then all of a sudden, that's when a security guard comes up to us and goes, "Yeah, you guys can't be here." And it was the same guy who looked at us last time and asked for our badges. So I think he called us on our bluff and he just acted confident again. Like, "Yeah, I thought about it last time. You definitely aren't supposed to be here. You got to go." So we're like, oh, okay. Oh, sorry.
We didn't protest. We just walked out peacefully.
Walked out. Easy.
Little did we know who's watching us.
Yeah, so, of course, so we get kicked out of the owner's box finally. Not before we took our free water, though. So we are like, all right, well, let's just walk around, I guess. Let's kill time while this bronze match is going on. We'll come back for USA and China, which is poetry in itself, which we'll get to in a second. But so we're walking around, and all of a sudden I hear behind me, like, "Hey, Tim." And I look around, and there's Nate from Alt and Chris and Bruno, all these guys from Alt behind us. And they go, "So we saw you guys get kicked out of that area." It's like, yeah, We did.
We were
We
there
did.
before.
But
We
you
were there
didn't.
before.
But what you didn't see was us sit there for 2 hours before eating food and living like kings. So we did get our piece. We did get what we needed. It's just eventually got kicked out, which was really the first time all weekend we were denied for anything. So I'd say it was pretty good. Pretty
It
good.
was a
So
win.
that's
It was a win for sure.
so we walked around for a little bit with them, chatted it up, blah, blah, blah. Went back in to watch the finals, USA versus China. How amazing. Out of all the drama that's been circling BlizzCon and just Blizzard in general, Hong Kong and China and Blizzard supporting China, what beautiful poetry that we get for the World Cup finals, USA and China.
Really the most amazing thing. And you could feel the energy because there was a lot of China supporters
Oh,
there
yeah.
as well, like rooting for Team China, just fans and such. And so you could feel it buzzing. As soon as we walked in, the hype was really at a high. I mean, it was the perfect nightcap and weekend cap for Blizzard and we really couldn't have just asked for a better ending. It was unfortunate, however, that Blizzard stopped the match after it was 2-0 because it didn't want to see China lose.
They just killed the feed. Like,
Just
oh,
kill
nope,
it.
sorry about that. Yeah, no, it actually was. So, I mean, first off, let's back up and just think about how insane this whole World Cup was for USA. You dropped one map the entire time in the semis against South Korea. That was the only time they lost a map. They went through the whole group stage undefeated, including the golden stage with, or completing the golden stage with sweeping South Korea the first time. Now you're up against China, another favorite going into this. USA last year, I mean, just kind of historically has struggled at the World Cups. To win this, I think, is a huge, huge step for Overwatch in general. Like, I think it's going to kind of not re-energize it, right? But I do think it, for the Overwatch crowd, like, kind of hypes it up a little bit. And I think
It does.
it does show how, like, the World Cup and Overwatch League and all that, it really has helped the game in general, because for the longest time, I mean, no one was beating South Korea. No, they've never lost a World Cup, right? But now you're seeing these teams competing against them and beating them. Teams that you would never expect, like USA, never expected. They never had the talent. And now that, like, these teams are catching up, we have teams outside of the norm coming to here, like Brazil, like we mentioned. And I do think that's part of this massive plan of Blizzard to host this World Cup, to host the Overwatch League, because of it is helping the game grow. Despite what people say, despite what people think, that arena, like,
Was buzzing. I
you
mean,
can't go
100%.
into that arena and tell me that Overwatch is not popular.
I think the World Cup is just a great idea in general, right? I'd love to see other sports like kind of incorporate that somehow, because these matches used to, I feel like, not mean a lot to everybody. I mean,
No,
like,
I
I,
mean,
I
even
don't
to
know
me.
if 2 years ago we would have seen this arena fill up the way it did, but now there's fans from across, obviously across the globe here at this event. It helped that two of them were locals from California, Sinatra and Super, and it had a lot of support there. But there was just so much fandom and Overwatch fandom just in there. It wasn't like just people crowded in there because there was nothing else to do. But I truly believe that everybody in the arena was a fan of somebody that was playing or had just finished up a match, because it was real. Like, you could feel the buzz in the arena.
Yeah, no, and I mean, even from, you talk about, like, meaning something, right? Like, I was kind of surprised to see. Now, don't get me wrong, Koreans cry a lot, but, like, these players did get emotional after they were eliminated, and, like, even you looked at
Yeah,
me and said, like, "Oh wow, this means a lot more than what you thought it did to these
yeah.
guys."
I saw them all crying and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is this is not just a regular run of the mill match for fun. They threw it all out there.
Yep. Yeah. So I mean, it's cool to see, and like you said, imagine the year for Sinatra, Super, and Moth. I mean, three guys from the San Francisco Shock. They just got off from winning the league, Overwatch League, and now you go win the gold. Arrow, the coach of Dallas, the coach of Team USA, has been under a lot of fire all year long from the Fuel fans and even just Overwatch fans in general, thinking that he's overrated and doesn't have what it's take. Well, I think this buys him another season or two, right? Like you
Yeah.
win the World Cup as an underdog. I think that buys you a few skins on the wall as Arrow to
It
be
buys
like,
you a season tops, right? Like another bad season, I think you see a change
yeah,
made.
right. Yeah, I mean, because you do have the argument that, well, yeah, you had three people from
The
the
best
best
team.
team in the league on your team. Like, not bad. Sinatra
Two-time
did win.
MVP winner, right? So
Right, yeah. Sinatra did win MVP of the World Cup. Not saying he doesn't deserve it. Those are fan voted. Okay, so take that with a grain of salt. Me personally, I would have liked to seen Corey win it. I thought Corey, for me, just the eyeball test. I'm not looking at any stats here or anything, so don't shoot me. I would say Corey was kind of the MVP for me. I thought the eyeball test said he made the plays that mattered. But either way, just an incredible run for Team USA, an incredible event for a lot of these teams, like like we mentioned for India and everything. Like these guys that just don't get a chance to have this type of exposure as much.
yeah.
You know, I guess the one downside of Overwatch League is that it does cut off exposure from just doing global, like with CS, tournaments travel the world, right? Like teams travel the world because each place might have a big tournament. You don't get that right in Overwatch. So these type of events mean a lot to a lot of these countries because they know are not going to get this opportunity until next year. They get one opportunity like this a year. And going into it knowing you damn well know they don't stand a chance in winning. So very exciting. So congratulations to Team USA, to China, to really any of the teams that showed up for this. It's a testament to, I think, the game and to the commitment of these fan bases and teams and sponsorships for getting these guys out here when Blizzard didn't foot the bill this year. So that was exciting to see in person. I think maybe Anuj will appreciate it more down the road. Like I felt a little guilty when I was there because it was like, I think it was just as media, you have so much going on, right? Like you got to take pictures and you want to get the perfect video and tweet out and blah, blah, blah. You kind of lose the moment.
You're not 100% there in the game in that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Prong Attack, like we said, our listener, he's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. And normally I think I would be, but I got so much on my mind. I think this will probably mean more to us later. Like, especially like if we realize like how big the World Cup becomes. But yeah, no, either way, awesome event that pretty much wrapped up BlizzCon for us and everyone else. We did like one last lap around just to kind of take it all in, as it wasn't as busy. You see all the computers and statues one last time. And it was mixed feelings, right? It was like, oh, it's finally done. But it was also like, damn,
It's done.
it's pretty.
No, it was
pretty
so much
badass.
fun. I mean, I felt like we were treated well as members of the media, which is always nice to see because you don't get that at every event. We can tell you that firsthand. But I
Blizzard,
felt
though,
really
always
welcome
treats us right.
there.
Always.
Yeah, they do, and this is just another example.
I mean,
of
down
it. So,
from just the media room to like providing food, the players' relation. I mean, Kevin over at Blizzard, who works the esports side of it, ran into him there. If you're listening, Kevin, I can't ever thank you enough for just what you do and how you handle yourself. It's always been great. Yeah, it's just a badass event.
now till next year.
now until next year. And I do want to say too, like, thank you to, our listeners, because it's fun for us, but if it weren't for you listening, we wouldn't be able to go to these events. We wouldn't even have a reason to go. So it's fun
Y'all
for
were also the
us.
first thing I told my wife when I got home. She was like asking me about the event. And the first thing I go into is the listeners that we meet at the event. And that's always really special for us. And getting a
Yeah.
chance to meet y'all, like it really does mean a lot for us. It's
Like getting
cool
to
because we're
stream and have people in there who might not be able to go and just kind of dictate where we walk around. Like that's part of the fun for us, and is having you be involved in these weekends with us. So I just want to say shout out to all the listeners out there, because it really is like you kind of make this happen in a mushy kind of way.
I love
Also,
you.
if you weren't here, we would still probably go, but that's besides the point. So we left BlizzCon. We walked past all the food trucks that charge you $13 for a taco. We went to Del Tacos down the street. Got me an Impossible taco, fake meat, delicious. And I think this is where we thought we were going to die. This was really the perfect cap of the weekend, because, like, really, there was not a bad time through all of BlizzCon. Like, it was the perfect weekend, down from Disneyland and everything else in between leaving. Dude, I mean, really, there was not one negative energy throughout. At Taco Casa, we're sitting there eating our delicious tacos. This truck peels into the parking lot. No lights on. His lights are not on, and it's pitch black. Peels into the parking lot, gets out of his car. His door remains open. He does not shut his door. Now, folks, that's the number one sign that you're about to get shot.
Or robbed. One of the
Or
two.
robbed. Like, there is about to be a robbery happen here. This dude gets out. He's bald. He's tattooed up, wearing a wife beater. Can I say that now? Is that PC?
Mm-hmm.
A white tank top, shorts, and flip-flops. He gets out of his car, walking to the door with a mission. He's got purpose in his movement. He's got a cup. He gets to the store, beelines it to the pop machine, gets water, beelines it out, all while, like, again, very aggressively getting this cup of water. I've never seen someone get water so aggressively, but he found a way to getting water be scary. Like, he found a threatening way to get a free cup of water. Gets in his truck, never turns on the lights again, and a very, like, shoddily, like, has never driven this truck before. 99%.
You can't back out.
Like, he stole this truck 100%, right, Anuj?
Yeah, there's no way.
Like,
he couldn't
it
back
looks
out.
like he never backed up a truck in his life before.
The windshield wipers are on. It's like 85 degrees with a light breeze outside.
No
like,
lights.
Something's not adding
Still,
up.
the lights are not on. He turns on, like, the fog dimming lights. Almost hits this car coming into the parking lot. Long story short, we survived.
That's the scariest part of BlizzCon so far.
It really was. And we were just like, what an awkward way to end it. Like,
But overall, really, like, this was a 100% win for a weekend. This
Yeah.
was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get a good night's sleep and back to
I
work
cannot
tomorrow.
wait to
But
get some sleep in my own
this
bed
was
with comfortable pillows. The hotel was great, but I don't
it
understand.
was.
I need some oomph with my pillows. I don't do soft pillows. I don't know how
I
people
was out
do
every
soft
night.
pillows.
Every night. I could
need
not
some
move by the
foam
time we were
in my
done.
pillow. But no, yeah, awesome event. Flight home again. Got lucky. We got our seats assigned to us. We got sat next to each other. Exit row, baby. All the leg room in the world. Beautiful flight home. We didn't bring this up. The flight there sucked, by the way.
Flight home, though, polar opposite.
Like, on Thursday, when we landed, I think we were both at about 60% health-wise. Like,
Yeah.
I fly a lot. I have never flown and been that sick after a flight. Like, I think our pilot just descended fat, like a jet pilot. My ears popped. They hurt so bad the rest of the day. It was rough. But
I
yeah,
was
the
deaf
flight
for
back.
about 2 days, but yeah, the
Yeah,
flight back was great.
beautiful. Beautiful. We'll say this, though. Don't want to give this asshole any time on the show, so I'm just going to say this, people. Airplane etiquette, okay? You let the people ahead of you go. You help old people get their bags down. It's that simple. Just help the elderly get their bags, okay? And let people in front of you get their bags, and then you go, all right? If I need to be the people's champion and remind you that, I'll bear that cross.
We'll do it.
I'll bear that cross. But that's it. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that.
It's a pretty good time when the only things we have to worry about are all things outside of the venue.
Yeah.
All of our near-death
it's great.
experiences, meeting certain a-holes, but yeah, I mean, overall, like I said, everything
Really
was
a
was
perfect
10 out of
weekend.
10.
Perfect weekend. And so with that being said, let's get into some e-news here. We really don't know what the hell happened over the weekend. If it wasn't at BlizzCon, I really don't know what happened. So this is all just looking at the news. We did have Blast Pro this weekend where, let's see here. I think you have it in your notes incorrect because I'm showing FaZe and Nip in the finals.
Yeah, that's what I have. FaZe beat Nip 2-0 in the finals. It's at the top there.
Look at that. We don't watch one event and FaZe and Nip somehow make it to the finals.
It's like Astralis, Liquid, Navi all don't make it out of groups, and we have a FaZe Nip final. Cloud9, thought I should mention this, did not win a match out of the 5 that they played. They were minus 37 for the tournament. Nico was our MVP. And congratulations to Olaf. Olaf is now the most winningest player of all time with 25 trophies, followed by Exist at 24, and I think Get Right and Forest are trailing right behind at 23. But Olaf becomes the most winningest player in Counter-Strike history, Counter-Strike Global Offensive history.
How front-loaded is that trophy case?
Yeah. 2014, 15, 16.
Right? Yeah, it's like LeBron including his high school trophies at that point. In other news, this happened, I think, pretty early on. I know we were like in California and just Discord blowing up. Like our listeners were just blowing up about this. 100 Thieves signs a Renegades roster. The Renegades are the full players and coach. Talked a little bit about it, obviously, earlier in the show with Yikes of the Week and mixed reporting and leaks going through. You just love to see it. Renegades tweeted out that their roster was going to 100 Thieves before 100 of Thieves even announced it. Like, it was such a messy transition, but interesting nonetheless. In other news, League of Legends, Anuj.
Yeah, we have our finals are set in place. We got G2 beating SK Telecom to advance to the finals, and they'll be playing Fun plus Phoenix, who beat Invictus. And I know Tim, kind of ranted about this, the winners here moving on, and it was unexpected for a lot of people. But yeah, Faker's time comes to an end in the finals. The finals are going to be November 10th. I think there were 4 million concurrent peak viewer something. 4 million, roughly 4 million peak viewers watching G2 and SK, and this is on Twitch and YouTube. So that's breaking some records within esports. I don't know which ones exactly, but it's breaking something. That's a lot of viewers, and man, it blows my mind that these games continue to have growth, especially after how big they already are.
Insane. Like to see how the finals look, right? Without SK Telecom being in it, that was such a crowd favorite. But you know what? G2 is also a lot of
G2 is a big draw.
And yes, Kai in Twitch chat, the Worlds are still going on. They really space it out, but now they're traveling to Paris. Like they're actually going to Paris now. So I don't mind that though. Like if it's your big tournament of the year, take your time. Stretch this out. I don't need semis on the same weekend as the finals. I don't need one team playing a match on Saturday and then the other team playing semis and their finals match on a Sunday. Like give these guys some time. Like let them enjoy it.
G2 is Paris based, if I'm not mistaken. Are they not? Is this going to be like a home game for him? I would expect some
I don't know. Their Counter-Strike team's French, so maybe.
good. We'll assume so.
Don't know.
For Call of Duty, all the logos have been revealed, so our tier list is going to be coming out soon. A lot of thoughts there.
Maybe next
so
Monday.
We'll definitely dive into that. But
Maybe
yeah,
next Monday will be our COD tier list episode. We'll see what's going on, though, but cannot wait. Got some spicy fastballs for you on that one as we rate all of the branding. Oh, just the branding, not the rosters. There's nothing to do with the rosters, just the branding. So we will get to that. And Prong Attack in Twitch chat says Gorillas with the best logo. That's how you get banned in Twitch chat, by the way, with opinions like that, with that nonsense spam in Twitch chat. But we'll get to that. I don't want to spoil anything here, so we'll talk about that in a couple of weeks here, or a couple episodes. In other news here, just before the show, Canada Cup wrapped up for Street Fighters as Tokido defeated Oil King 3-1 in the grand finals. Can you believe it? An FGC tournament ended before we started recording on a Sunday night. Who'd have thunk it?
It's a late episode, Tim. We'll
it is. Let's not give too much credit. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Speaking of late episodes, it is a late episode. It was a late start, an extra late finish, because this was a powerhouse episode, 2 hours long. Ooh. BlizzCon will do that to you, though. BlizzCon will definitely do that. We will get back to our normal esportsy heavy ways here next on
Wednesday.
Thursday as we record Wednesday night. But listen, there's a few times a year we like to take a step back and just appreciate some games. E3 and BlizzCon is that. So appreciate you listeners for sticking around. We love you if you listened all the way through or skipped the same. Love you all the same, right? I think I goofed. Does it make sense? You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. We will be back Thursday with a brand new hot, spicy episode of The Center Ring, a.k.a. TCR, a.k.a. your favorite esports podcast. We will talk some esports. We got some more mixer drama going on, I hear. I think Tifu and FaZe had their first round of court litigation, so maybe we could look into that. We'll see. We will see. There's always something going on in the esports world. But that will be next time. Tim, for Anuj. We'll see ya.